to high ground. We can see as well the red team. I think they're scouting, just waiting to see what they are gonna pick for to control this bunker, try to push the first point. So yeah. Let's see how it
The
goes.
Hammond from the red team here just rolling out, gonna see what the enemy are running, as Sunel was saying here. And yeah, we'll see just this. The blue team holding the high ground here to protect the Bastion. The enemy red team will not be able to run into them as if they could on the Goats comp. So they're probably going to be keeping this Orisa comp here. Interesting to me, they're keeping the ball here. Going to be looking for a flank, maybe trying to boot one of the tanks off the high ground. And that'll open up engagements for the Hanzo and the Bastion from the red team.
Yeah,
They'll
I'll
land
boop
some
up
heavy
the high
damage.
ground onto the Orisa. The Road Dog here would be really big. It should be pretty easy first spot. And the Bastion gets picked instantaneously after the
finding the res, though.
field breaks.
They do manage the res, but they manage to actually deny that by just destroying the enemy front line. The res did not matter. And now the Bastion's sleeping in there.
It's gonna be pretty tough to defend at this spot. Making good value of the Hammer here, disrupting the team. Hanzo flanking on high ground. Some sneaky shot on the Bastion. Just trying to hold this position though.
Seeing the swap over to the Winston Diva here from the side of the blue team. Gonna be wanting to just contest that payload. Otherwise it's an immovable object here with this Bastion.
Zoning Dragon popping on the points. And they got the Bastion enough.
Will they be able to pull this off?
Both team can still pull it out.
Looking very close, however, I do feel the blue team is in the advantage position here. However, the Nano going onto the red team's Hanzo. Hammond, I mean.
The Valkyrie is spot and the
Oh,
EMP.
but a big EMP
getting
getting 3 on the red team. Will they be able to
Dazan
find
is
the
getting dangerous with low. If he survives, he has the chance to.
Oh, clutch nade from Canada. Keeping him alive. And we see here just Tingle Tangle just hiding on the payload, making sure nobody goes for a back cap. Or a C9, as we like to call it.
And with this dive AV switch at the last second, they managed to hold it off. It's gonna be big trouble for red team to manage to push through this dive. They pick the Pharah though, saying that they have no hit scan whatsoever right now.
Nice shot from Shellker onto tab there.
The mines are popped onto the Mercy. Mercy's in big trouble, managed to get off.
Yeah, the red team do have this ultimate advantage though, I feel. I feel like the blue team are going to be coming back and using the ult second, so they're going to be able to counter their ults and react to other things here. So we'll see how they push through here.
Alright, nice shot on the summer, but it does not matter. With these two downs, the red team is now resetting. Diva is caught out of position now, that could be big. She has no
This
mech
could
for
be
next
a big
fights.
saga.
So it's going to be 6 versus 6 with no mech onto next fight. They have Trance and Nano Boost, and the opposite side they have Valk, Trance and Pulse Bomb. Slightly at the advantage of blue team, but at this point it can't go any side, basically. They don't have a hit counter for the Pharah. So yeah, can go definitely both directions.
Dream taking the high ground positioning here. Gonna be looking to drop on that enemy, draw that attention. Now Tingle Tangle back in the mech, gonna be looking to initiate a dive here onto the enemy front line.
A nice stick
Ed
onto
with
the
a
Ana.
passive Ana kill there. Gonna be just cleaning up Pharah, less support for her, and it's just cleaning up from here. We're falling into dangerously low time bank here for the red team to push through. This is looking like a last team fight opportunity.
And some really clean stuff from the blue team, like that pulse pick onto the Ana that didn't use Nano yet. It was really clutch. Like, that's the kind of pick you're looking for when you play DPS. Like, one clean pick onto the main support, no heals left for the team.
Tingle Tangle is out of mech again though. Seeming like he's spending most of his time as the mini diva here, but he is receiving the damage boost, trying to land some shots, desperately get into the mech, and he does get it back in time. However,
Winston used his bubble for that. Oh, and ooh.
Dream going in very aggressively, going in deep with this primal rage, going to be displacing the Roadhog here. And it looks like we are asking for a pause. Dream just going wild with the primal rage here, and they are all moved off the point there from Dream's primal rage here. That's an unlucky. They had a lever, maybe a disconnect or something.
Yeah, I think it's both disconnect off at the same time, so it was kind of weird. Unlucky. So that's a full ult for the blue team. They did really good on the defense. The red didn't manage to adapt. The blue team, it seemed like they lost that first push, but in the end they managed to switch to dive and recontest, get some good picks, and overall just hold it. Even against the Pharah, they were doing well. looking very strong.
Yes, however, these are some pretty harsh corners to be pushing through, so we'll have to see the equal sort of defense here if they have a chance of winning this game here. But I think it's very doable. However, we did see some strong ultimate usage and good knowledge of counter swapping to adjust to what the enemy are running here. So blue team looking quite favored here coming into this. However, they did have this disconnect, and I wonder if that's going to affect their performance here. Maybe somebody's having some issues with frame rates or internet or something. It looks like
I don't know.
ready here pretty soon.
It might like it's the server that's bugged. I'm not sure. Do you see as well 3 people disconnected? No.
I only saw Tingle Tangle from the blue team.
I saw the Tab and Astro. So maybe the server is broken. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. Some
Yeah,
technical
everybody's
issues here.
ready. I think people are ready to go.
Okay, we should be looking to be going into the second round here on Havana. Gonna be switching sides. Blue team attacking, red team defending.
And they don't have to go that far to win. They only need the first point. And the first point is gonna be enough to secure the win for the red team.
Yeah, they should be able to just build up some ults. I'll probably expect maybe a Somber here. They can just win a guaranteed fight win with the EMP. And we'll see if the other team decide to go some heroes to maybe counter that.
That's true. Somewhere an EMP well placed would be sufficient for a win, unless they do the same thing and switch to dive on the last second to recontest. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be some kind of double sniper defense for the red team. On offense, they are sticking to Bastion at the moment, but since they are attacking, they have the advantage. They can know what the defender are playing and switch off at the last second. So we'll see what the blue team decides.
Yeah, we're going to see they can actually look through the windows here on this map and try to see a few of the enemy heroes, what their picks are. So that's something quite unique to this map. You also see that kind of thing on Watchpoint Gibraltar. But sometimes the defending team like to kind of bait the enemies around, maybe go into weird positions that the attacking team are going to be thinking where they are, but they're actually going to bait them and attack from a surprise angle. So here we see the fight just started. They're keeping this comp here, the Bastion on the page. We're going to be trading the halts throughout here. Both teams with the Mercy just to keep that their core.
On this Hanzo, heavy spam damage onto the payload is put through right now. I don't know if they can hold this far.
And the red team, they don't even have a Bastion. I just realized they're running 2 snipers. They're going to be getting strong burst damage in. Maybe the Mercy's Zen won't be enough to sustain through that heavy burst damage.
And you can see the usage of the Diva there. Just putting some huge defensive matrix, just trying to, you know, not let the Bastion get the initial burst value of the one he sets up.
Yeah, I'm going to be seeing a entirely different comp switch here from the blue team. They just went with this reverse comp to just get the payload for the majority of this long straight line here, and they're going to be initiating a dive, but they get boot back. Excellent coach gun usage from Tab here on the Ash, but the Genji is alone. He's effectively 1v6 right now. The Tracer though, trying to land up some follow-up damage, and it really seems like they're not very coordinated right now. The Orisa pulling them together though. Monkey's just constantly pressuring the Genji. Finally, they've reached themselves together, but it seems like they don't even need to dive. They are just wearing them down, and the payload is moving.
And some resources being popped off right now. So the Valkyrie is popped, the Orisa gets down. They managed to get a good push. Trance is popping as well, racing on the Orisa. They got a good pick on the Zenyatta. And I think that's gonna close it off for red teams. They just haven't cleaned it off, play safe. That's what they're doing right now, trying to demake this Diva, trying to get the last pick onto the Tracer. That's done. Alright, it's a hard reset for the blue team.
That's pretty close though, but the payload is very close now. They're just going to be building up these ults, as we were saying.
At this point, only one fight will do, any moments. So yeah,
just got to get a clean really Nana Blade. Maybe that Monkey's going to go in deep with the Primal Rage. Maybe pulls out some resources from the red team here.
And they got EDD with that sneaky pulse bomb. Last fight he did. I mean, last round he did a really good job on getting this pulse onto the support. Maybe he'll try to do that again. If he gets a pulse on Mercy right now, it could be big.
Monkey going in, and the Genji following up. Big E from single tangle onto the Dragon, completely denying that ultimate usage, and a lot of attention is being drawn here on the side of the blue team from their Tracer. And the Primal Rage is going in now, going to be going very deep in, drawing the attention off the Joshua. The Nano Blade is coming in, and he finds the Mercy. Now the Zen, they have no more healing on the side of the red team. Blade's going to be over though, and this is going to be it for the blue team. Only the tank's alive on the side of the red team. The The D.Va bomb is out from the
The
Joshua.
sleep from
The
Ana on
big
the
sleep,
D.Va.
very precise there. That is going to be it here on Havana. Blue team with a very strong showing what they're worth here.
Yeah, that was really clean. They immediately identified the enemy's comms, they switched to dive, they got some ultimates, and just want to use the nano blades. Really good nano blade, like pretty solid stuff we've seen from the blue team. Now leading the Styrie 2-0 against Sync.
Yeah, I really like how they scout what the enemy have. They run something for a little while, they get the payload moving a bit, but then they just counter swap. They have good knowledge of what comps counter what comps. And yeah, they just farm the ults and they execute that really well. They seem to have some pretty strong synergy with their planning. Looks like we're going to be going on to King's Row here, but we are going to be needing 2 minutes. Somebody needs to restart their PC. So yeah, short little break here.
I've got you in my sights.
And welcome back everybody for this last one, if it's a best of 5. Blue team currently leading 2-0. Pretty convincing win onto Ilios, then a convincing win onto Havana. Let's see how they deal with the hybrid map. Maybe we might see some goats here. What do you
Yeah, King's Row map, always dominated by tank comps. We really should see some goats being pulled out here. However, this is a diamond rank, so there might be a bit less synergy with these more advanced goats comps that you see the professionals running. Maybe they're going to opt for some Orisa comps, maybe some triple DPS comps with a Hammond. Here. Maybe even some Ryan Zarya comps with some extra DPS.
Oh, alright, we just been told that this is indeed a 2-2-2 lock, so they no goats here, no quad DPS.
Oh, okay.
Anticipating the enforcement of the 2-2-2 coming pretty soon, we guess. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Blue team setting up on the defenders right now, going for this classic double sniper setup, with Ash, which could be considered as a sniper. It's just more spam heavy with the dynamite. On the opposite side, we're seeing Hanzo Macri at the moment. Maybe they might switch again if they see the defending team. Hanzo spotted on the top right now. Let's see how they deal with that information. Yeah, he's just putting some recon, maybe switching. Alright, so blue team setting up on the point, classic setup, 2-2-2 push, both running Reinhardt Zarya. Let's see how they manage to make value of this tank combination.
The dynamite thrown in, and it seems to be getting a bit of value. Going to be a slow engage here, but Shekler with the pick onto tab. It's going to be the blue team's opportunity to push in and deny this attack here from the red team. The Reinhardt falls. This is surely it. The red team should be backing up as quickly as they can now. And that's it. 3 kills from the side of the blue team.
Yeah, and we can see this red team has really trouble walking into the spam. Heavy damage put on by the Zenyatta, the Ashe, and the Hanzo right now. When they managed to get the first pick onto the... when the Zenyatta managed to get the first pick, the range shield was already at like 200 and it got broken and destroyed instantaneously.
Ooh.
But we can see really good headshot from the
Oh.
Hanzo. Oh my god, 2 headshots.
Three kills
really
either
popping
side of
off.
Hanzo here. One from the red team, two from the blue team.
They didn't get the res, unfortunately, on the Ashe, so if they regroup now, they might be able to take a 6 versus 5 turn the next fight. Let's see how
Yeah,
it
so
goes.
we do see Ed here just walking back. He should be here by the next red team's attack push.
Yeah, and they have definitely some good ult economy onto the blue team. I think they'll be able to hold if they manage to bait some ultimates using some resources. The range shield is running low, range shield is broken.
Shield broken, there's going to be the red team's chance to attack in here, but Ed on the flank lands a dynamite onto the McCree, forced to roll back.
And
The
use
trans
that
is used onto the grab here, but the Dragon sort of missing, not really doing much, only just going to be zoning out a few of the players here. And it's looking pretty even, however, the red team pushing up, making some space. But they got to worry about Ed here on the flank, and Frieza does run up to him, forces him off the high ground. Ed's falling low here, he's going to be dying, and that is it for the attack onto the red team here for point A.
Blue team is just gonna reset now and hold this bookshop corner, which is pretty good, pretty hard to pass through. Red team is trying to push right now, making advantage of their one man up. This is a 6 versus 5 right now. I don't think the blue team should be inclined to take a fight there, but yeah, just spamming long range is fine.
Yeah, we're probably going to see the blue team use the tank ult to force out the support ults here, and that is exactly what they are doing, forcing out the trans, the Dragon to follow up from Kangju. But
the
a big
shadow
shot
connects
to the
to
Zenyatta
Super.
and the Mercy, no more support from the side of the blue team here, and they're all going to be wiped out. That was a massive shatter, absolutely denying the ultimates invested here. And that's
Yeah,
it, they're going to be pushing through point B.
Yeah, that Grav Dragon combo got completely shut down by the trance, and they managed to pull it off with only a shadow, which is really good value from the red team. They're really confident going into the second point of King's Row. They may be able to take it without many trouble. We have a Bob and the Shadow on the defense though, which can be pretty dangerous if it's combined together, so red team will have to watch out for that.
We also see here Shekler with the trance advantage. They might be able to make an aggressive push here and manage to stop this snowball here. And it looks like they've done it. They are holding the payload here, forcing the red team back a little bit. They're going to be looking to play slow, just spamming their shields down, forcing out those cooldowns, and the red team are just stabilizing. But
Just
this
setting
does
up
give
again.
the snipers the time on the high ground here. Ed going to be on a slide off angle, and we've got a really wide angle here from these two different snipers. Going to be very hard for the backline. Tab though, on the flank above the stairs, lands a few shots, but a big grab and shatter coming in, but the trans in response. McCree flanking on the high noon, manages to find Zarya. The trans going to be over now from Shirkler, and they are really just zoning out Roulette's Reader here, and he has fallen. So has Tab. Ed managed to land a dynamite there, and Dream's pinning back to the payload. Dragon coming through to support the rest of the tanks here.
They have to watch out not to overcome it with the ultimate though. They should, I think, a bit of too many resources to the blue team for this defense. They got the first pick, and they got pretty scared that the red team might actually win with a 5 versus 6 aggression. And so they used, yeah, they pop Varg, they pop Trance, they pop Dragon, they pop Bob. So yeah, going into the next fight, the red team actually has a huge ultimate advantage. We have the Shatter and the Dragon coming in. And the Shatter, it connects on 3.
Three!
the
One Zarya
Dragon.
and Ash here. The Dragon's going to be coming in for 4 damage. The Zarya's high energy now, they're going to be pushing up here. Got to get this target focus just to clean out this fight. However, they do kind of want to take as long as they can to kill them, because that is going to be that the blue team is more sagged here. And now they are just snowballing it. It's going to be even a pretty good ult economy, looking pretty even on both sides here, coming into the third point.
Just setting up on high ground, looking for stay
With
gets
the
onto
kill,
the Hanzo. It's gonna be pretty tough to deal with that Reinhardt shield right now, since they're done the Hanzo. Okay, the rest is popping, is popped. They have a good setup on the high ground, maintaining those double lines, like
Past this
aggression.
high ground angle. The Ash won, Tab forced to back out, but now the Hanzo's going in to contest this Ash here, and he does see him with a Sonic Arrow, but Tab manages to find Kingju with a pick here. It's gonna
And
be shut
Rain
down.
taking that opportunity to put some pressure, gets shattered though, connects on 2.
Big shadow, Ryan and Zen. Dream
Really
manages
good
to
shot.
find Ryan with a big pin connection there. But the big grab coming in from Joshua.
They're trying to
However,
turn this around
Schultz
with
does
big and
manage to
plain
spot all this, and the
Massive
trans manages to
res.
get the res out. single back up. That's the majority of their damage in the front line focus here, so it doesn't matter too much that they lost their Rhino early in the beginning. Tab, though, falling from Kingju again. These sniper battles have been insane. They've just been one shot, and the tank ult's using it. Again, forcing up by the Trance. The Dragon won't be doing much here. The Trance is going to be in the denial, but a massive pin onto Let's Reader manages to open up the angle for Kingju to land these Summaros in, and it's going to be looking like to turn around the other way, though. The red team, Wise Man with the 3k on the Zenyatta here. The payload's going to be moving out. The blue team's going to have to be looking to pick... high ground angle here with the Ash, going to be landing some heavy damage. Not much going to be done here from the blue team. They are just going to be looking to stall the payload. Can't really go too deep onto the back
And the
line
Shadow
here.
gets interrupted mid-air by the Doomfist, but they...
Oh,
my god.
Oh.
They got...
Sniper Jewels, I feel like, you know, the red team were just getting these early picks, some heavy damage into here, and the blue team just couldn't sustain through it.
Yeah, it was really, like, on the sniper battles, they really managed to get those good picks at the time they needed it, and yeah, so when you enter a fight 5 against 6, if the defending team doesn't have good enough support sides, they're just gonna lose point after point, and that's what happened.
Yeah, so we're going to see, I'm predicting the same sort of comps here on either side. These long to mid-range damage, just want to get these burst damage in, and also pressure the Rhine Shield at the same time to deny the tanks from pushing in.
Yeah, it's still not, like a little bit different when you play double sniper on offense and on defense. I feel like offense is sometimes more advantageous because you can decide when you pick the fight. Basically, yeah, the offense decides when he fights, the defender decides where he fights. But when you play snipers, you know you're taking those lines, you never know where you're gonna get shot from, and on defense it feels kind of unsafe. So yeah, let's see how they manage to deal with the attack this time.
So it seems like different comps. That was wrong off my prediction here. They're going to be running a bunker comp on the high ground. Lots of sustain, however the Widow and the Soldier are going to be getting different angles, going to be pressuring the point here. But it seems like the blue team already picked a dive comp, going to be predicting what the red team are running here on the defense. They're just going to be looking to single out targets. There's a lot of squishies on the side of the red team here. We're going to have to see how strong the red team's tanks can aid their backline.
Some shots are trade. Monkey used bubble here. He's not gonna be able to dive this, and Genji gets hooked. Managed to survive. He's contesting the point. They have to do something about this Genji contesting though. Orisa dropped down alone on the point. Managed to reshield. A huge pick on the Widow and a huge anti onto both tanks. They might drop here on the point. If they drop, that might be pretty bad.
And these
They managed to get out of. Some good dashes. Good value make it by the Genji, who already has 80% on the blade. Orisa runs out of shield.
Falling low. Can Kingju finish him off? And he does. The tank's going to be
huge.
out. Going to be opening up way more angles for the sniper to work with here. And the Genji just aiding up with that follow-up damage consistent. And it's especially aided from the Zenyatta Discord here.
And really clean stuff from the blue team onto the offense. Really good dive. We've seen this dive composition work 2 times on Havana, both on offense and defense. And now they are pulling it through with the dive again on Kingju on attack. That's really good. They're doing a good job.
Yeah, no comp switches so far. Both teams building up their ults pretty quickly here. Some damage going to be poking in. They're all just stacked up with the resist shield here. Not too many angles being taken here. The blue team just going in with the nanoblade and the monkey to assist. The whole hog in defense trying to push him away, but he finds both supports. He's falling low though, using that reflect in response. He's going to be looking to get his tanks to follow up there. He cannot do it all by himself, but he did manage to get the supports. It's just going to be a matter of time before the red team dies here.
And now is the time for blue team to clean it off, clean the red team before they can regroup and have a second contest until this point. We can see the Widow sitting on the payload here, still pushing. And yeah, so they might enter this last fight down 1, down the F-tank, which is pretty bad when you're playing bunker against tank. We see the walls popped off now. Watch out for the speaks, but hide those heads. They can completely see the enemy's team.
Both
they have all the
walls
information
on either side of the Widowmaker here. It's going to be a very intense battle between these two players here.
And
but
this
the
anti-nade
and the bomb's being thrown in. Going to be making lots of space, but it doesn't matter. The blue team are just going to be rolling through. It They don't care about the extra damage from the Bongo. They're just going to throw a bomb in and find their entire enemy team tingle-tangle with some excellent performance here on point B. Just going to be snowballing this fight into point 3. Still got some pretty good ults coming up. They've got their Genji again and their Ana close to their ults. They're going to get a strong execution from their Nanoblade. However, Wiseman does have his Transcendence coming up, so it's going to be interesting to see how the blue team engage with their Genji here.
And they have a really good strategy for the neutral. Like, okay, that's an unfortunate pick. That should be a quick reset from the blue team. But as usual, what they're doing in the neutral is basically they're just destroying this Orisa's shield, and whenever it's broken, they just send this anti-nade that connects onto one or two people, and they always get the picks on those antis. Really good jump from the blue team right there into the neutral.
Yeah, we're going to see Ed now switching onto the Tracer. Not too many angles here for the snipers, especially against this comp. They're all behind the shield, so he's going to be looking
for Nanoblade is going to be coming
in with the Nanoblade. Trans in response, however, Freezer does fall. Tab with the response though onto both supports, finding those headshot picks. But the blade doesn't get much value. Genji's going to be dying here, and that's going to be a stronghold, denying the nano. Actually, they didn't even nano, but just the blade here. And so that's going to be putting them in a pretty neutral now when they were at a pretty strong disadvantage beforehand.
And we can see the switch onto the Junkrat there, coming from Freezer. Junkrat against Dive. Oh, which is switch as well. They're going Orisa? Orisa Diva? Alright.
Yeah, gonna be seeing a little bit of switch here. It's gonna be harder to dive on this third point here, especially when you've got everyone just standing behind the shields. Even though they did have those high grounds to work with, it's just very hard that you're gonna be pulled away. They're gonna be getting these whole hooks through.
Yeah, switching onto this double sniper composition, trying to make good value of the high ground, which they are immediately committing into. You can see the Hanzo there spamming. Some orbs being thrown. Good combination,
Big
which pulled the Orisa.
Let's read it now. No more shield off the red team, but they are investing the Nano Whole Hog now. But Shirkler is going to be with the Trance in response. Going to be see Dream here with the whole hook combo onto the Roadhog as he's sleeping. This guy's just getting bullied right here. Bobbed by his side.
Kind of a neutral situation right there, just waiting for the Bob to wear off. Good anti on the Roadhog, which might drop here. Good
big hook. Manages to remove the entire DPS from the side of the blue team here, and the red team is going to be at an advantage here. No more damage coming through. The blue team are just forced to disengage.
Yeah, coming to the next fight, it's not looking good either. They don't have any ultimates right now. They might have a Horror, but it might not do really much against the enemy's composition. On the opposite team, they have a Tire, which is really good on this defense. Like, once the enemies start committing, you can just Tire and eliminate the dangers, which can be either the Ash, the Hanzo, or even a tank. And the Trance is committed down.
Trance going to be forced there.
We're gonna see this Tire, which gets destroyed.
Oh, Ed with a lovely kill onto Freezer. Now this means the blue team are going to be forced to use more of their ults to compensate for the lack of good ult usage there. But they are going to be 2 down. Ed managing to find one in response, but it's not going to be enough. The blue team are going to be backing off here. But quite a few fights down. It's starting to look a little bit more winnable now for the side of the red team. They seem to have quite a favoured advantage here on the defensive position with this mirrored bunker comp.
Bunker has been, yeah, they've been succeeding pretty well with this composition so far into this third point. They have to watch out though, because they might be at all disadvantage on the next fight. So yeah, some good ops being thrown, no hook connects, a good dynamite onto the tanks, some heavy pressure being put.
And Bongo coming out from Dream, sending the bomb in and the nano. Blue team using a lot of ults here. And the red team, they're just getting close enough to respond to their ults, but they're not quite there yet, so they're forced to back off, stabilize, and they manage to find Let's Reader. Now it's going to be very hard for the red team to defend this last point here. They're going to be coming out, and they're going to be using their ultimates. The bobbers send in, but Quinju falls. Dream with the pick onto Wiseman. Drogas flying in there, just looking to solve it.
Coming out, he gets booped off the map. The Tire gets destroyed. It's a disaster for the red team.
Absolutely massive play with the boop off the map, followed up by the Tire kill, and the finish onto Junkrat.
And you have to kill that Orisa a bit. We are about to push those last meters, but they can't. They just can't commit. Both DPS are down. So there's no way they can commit to this Orisa with the big shield.
The red team just managing to get back onto this and clutching it up. And there's only a minute left on the time bank here. The ult's looking pretty neutral right now. We see a switch from the Mei here on Freezer. He's going to be looking to build his ults quickly and slow the enemy down. But a big anti coming in to the red team. They're going to be forced to back off, stabilize again, and they're just giving up this free space here. The Dragon coming in from Kingju, and the failed whole hook combo.
gonna try to stall it as much as she can, trying to put it to overtime. It's just a battle of seconds right now, only 40 seconds left into the map. The Bob is committed onto the point.
This Bob is drawing a lot of attention from the red team. It's gonna be hard for them to stall, and it manages to find Wiseman.
And that's a nano Bob which really puts some heavy damage. 2 kills found by the Bob there.
Freezer absolutely just serving his name to some gratitude here. He's freezing the entire enemy blue team here, managing to get some absolutely insane stall value from here. And he's actually carrying the red team. That was looking very left out of the red team, but he's freezing them away. They cannot touch, and they've been forced to back out. Now, blue team just switching over to the Lucas, the choice of the Lucio, but they do manage to touch, and it looks like they do trigger the overtime. However, it's looking very favored for the red team here, as they have this strong defense. 2 down already for the blues, and that's 3. This is going to be it surely for the red team. They're going to be able to hold this.
Yeah, with the Mayo teammates, there's no way the blue team can pull this off. 1 versus 6 right now. Just clean up this tracer, and that's going to be 2.
And there you go.
Actually,
excellent playoff, really putting his name up to what it stands for. Freezer, freezing all the enemies, providing lots of value there. I really think that Freezer was the one carrying there in the last fight.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job against the dive on the last point, and when the dive didn't work, blue team just didn't have a solution to work with this against this bunker. They didn't manage to control those high grounds, they didn't manage to maybe outspam the enemy team, and yeah, that's gonna be it. Red team takes it.
It's gonna be 2-1 here. Will we see the reverse sweep from Sync onto the Frozen Melons? Perhaps. They seem to be very dominant, although quite close at times, but overall very dominant in this bunker mirror match. And if they are able to keep on running these comps, then they might be able to just pull out the reverse sweep here. Perhaps Frozen Melons getting very sort of cocky, maybe a little bit overconfident about what the enemy team are like how they're playing, because they did have this 2-0 advantage coming into this King's Room map here, but now it looks like things are turning the other way.
And it's going to be 2 CP, so it can. Oh yeah, we're playing Volskaya. Volskaya industry picked here, so yeah, sniper heavy map again on the first point. Second point, oriented, but yeah, still definitely a good option. I think we're gonna see some snipers again, maybe some dive. First one pretty heavy onto the high ground controls. Yeah, let's see how it goes. The blue team is defending. They might go dive again on attack. So on defense, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Let's see what they pick.
Okay, yeah, as we predicted, gonna be seeing these snipers, this bunker comp from the blue team on the defense here. The red team probably just gonna be looking to scout, however they might go with a more aggressive Ryan Zarya tank composition coming into this attack here. Maybe their idea is that they can just speed onto the enemy front line and just win that battle there, and then it doesn't even matter about that long range now. Perhaps
Yeah, and the May on this offense against this comp, it's gonna be kind of freer to play. Like basically, the goal of the blue team is try to get picks before the May reaches the tanks. So we're gonna look out for the May right now. What she's going to be able to pull, she's gonna be able to wall off those lines to be able to make a clean passage for the team, a safe passage, so that they manage to reach the point. I think once they are set up onto the point or onto the Orisa, onto the enemy's Orisa, it's gonna be pretty hard for the blue team to deal with it. So let's see about those picks. Let's see about this May, how it goes.
Blue team taking quite a unique position, all in one area at once, but there you go, they're going to be rotating and they do find a pick onto the freezer. They're really going to be looking about taking multiple angles here to contest the point and win in the rotations off of the red enemy team. They're going to be out-rotating them there. The right shield falling very low and it does break.
Against the spam without a shield, that's going to be really tough for the red team to pull through. The blue team is already set up on the opposite high ground. They don't have any way of making any value of this positioning.
Another pick.
And yeah,
Shulker.
really
It's very difficult for red team to be
And those
pushing
headshots
from
on the
this
Zyard.
absolute long range. Shulker with another pick. This is absolutely phenomenal what he's been doing here. Just absolutely burning the time. You see, it's only 3 minutes now. Started with 4. That's 1 minute gone. And another pick from Tingle Tangle. That was a nice long range halt from Dream, and Tingle Tangle pushing up to get that hook into there. There's some really good synergy going on. Long range spam.
I don't know
Red team gonna be able to outcomp this.
Yeah, they're doing really well with the positioning and making really big value of the movement of the red team. They have to cross the whole map to reach them, and once they do, they are usually down 2 or 3 because of the bigs. So yeah, I don't know about the Mei there. As I mentioned, if they manage to reach them, it's gonna be good, but I don't know if they can.
Even then, it's going to be hard to freeze the Dream there with the Fortify.
Look at this heavy
we see
spam on
Eddie
the
use
rain.
the wall infra side there, but the red team just going to be rushing to the point out after they kited out the ult usage. Now the blue team going to be looking to use a dragon, no pull follow-up. The Orisa is kind of separate by themselves, and the Mercy flying over to them. The red team now that the Zarya are going to be melting through onto Dream there, and Nut Skull is just flying across the map. He's staying alive right now. He's going to
Big
support
pick on
his
the
team.
Orisa. Without the Orisa, they don't have anything to contest left. They're just like standing on the point, hoping not to get picked, and the blue team cannot make good enough use of the snipers at the moment. The supports are forced to commit on the point, they drop, and yeah, it's gonna be Frostman capped. They want to try and snowball, but with the changes, I don't think it's possible to snowball anymore. 2 CP, we can see the supports are already coming back to the point. Orisa set up on high ground, Rodok touching the point right now, so this is going to be their setup. Orisa just throwing those long range orbs onto the red team. Rodok trying to make a good value of his hook when the orbs are thrown. And the red team are gonna commit onto the point, the Bob is being committed there.
Big wall blocking the sidelines off the Orisa there. They're just going to be able to hold this point. Using the supporters is going to be just a load of sustain here onto the point. It's going to be hard for the blue team to be contesting them. Already managed to find themselves a tick, and the snipers from the red team themselves are actually managing to get quite a bit of value, and the Mei is actually starting to pay off. They're starting to drop, and the Shed not really finding anything there, but the Grav managing to find Kingu. Tab taking a high ground position, but a trance coming through from Shulker, trying to sustain his team, trying to win this fight on the point again. It's not favourite for them, however, the red team still starting to win, slowly winning this fight. However, it could start, the tables could start to turn very close here though. They only need a 4%, and this is going to surely be it. The red team are going to have to cap now. Big value from Tab with 3 headshots there to finish off this fight.
Yeah, they completely avoided the spam there onto the second point. They went onto the right side, just speed boost onto the point, and once the blue team had to commit, they were already out-spammed, out-positioned, and yeah, they couldn't make value of these drops. They couldn't retake the point from the red team, which had Renat Zarya and Mei, which are really strong against this Orisa Rodok tank, especially when most DPS are only 2 snipers. They cannot do much against Mei or yeah, Orisa, Zarya, Renat once they're already set up. So,
and I really think the attacking team here, they didn't really have a good idea of how they were going to be attacking on those first couple of fights there. They kind of just took this long range damage, which was really not in their favor, but they adapted, they identified the mistake, and they just went to the point. They got their ults up, they got a lot of sustain coming in, they got good value from the Mei again, from Freezer, and yeah, they managed to snowball that, run a snowball fight into the point B.
Yeah, making those safe paths for the team with the Mei wall, which completely shut down both sniper at the same time. Really good stuff from the Mei. We don't expect usually that kind of stuff onto Volskaya from Mei against double sniper, but yeah, I mean it worked. So
seems to work. Maybe the defending team there didn't really have the correct idea. Maybe they didn't take too many different angles to deny the Mei wall value. Maybe they were just standing too clumped up together. Maybe they were just a bit scared.
yeah,
Now we're going to be
those
coming into
angles
the team here. The attacking team going to be running a dive comp like we've seen it multiple times, but the red team going to be standing with their Ryan Zarya and the Mei again on the defense. So going to be running the same comp from the red team, but the blue team going to be scouting what they have. Most likely going to be switching the comp up, but they might still keep the dive here if they can manage.
We can see the Mei again from the red team. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough to deal with, especially into the defense. Have to rely on those DPS to get those lines, those flanks.
Yeah, so we see the blue team just scattered what they have. Now they're running this double sniper with the Orisa Hog now. And the red team, they're adjusting. They're holding tab right there. They're just seeing what the blue team have. and they're going to be playing quite far back. Now they're advancing, they see the tanks are coming up, they want to take this space, they don't want to just give up all the space for free.
And
as
they're
they do
giving
know
out
that
this
that is
high
some
ground,
sniper
which is
value.
going to be really big for the double sniper setup. They're going to be really susceptible to spam there. And to pull that gets on the Mei. Mei is no block right now, has no block.
Ed with the flank manages to find Joshua with a very strong headshot there. Maybe the shielding wasn't too optimal, and the shielding's actually gone down. The shield management really not been great here. They're just really at a disadvantage here against all of this long-range spam. They have to be playing this very slowly, very smart, very calculative in order to hold a strong defense here.
And good pick on the Hanzo there, a really important pick considering they're down one. And another pick from the
They
other.
managed to find Mercy. And lots of picks just coming out from the red team here. So they do actually manage to win that. I think what they were trying to do was just play underneath them, deny the sightlines. They didn't really want to be taking that damage. So yeah, the blue team didn't really have many sightlines to be working with, and they didn't have much to contest the point, so eventually the red team just won.
Yeah, they played under the bridge there, so the Hanzo has to commit in order to get some good shots, but the Ash was there picking out the Hanzo, couldn't get picked by the Widow, which was really good move coming off from the Ash of the red team tab. The blue team, however, is going to retalk and coming back to the second fight with a more aggressive setup. I don't know if they're gonna take a high ground again. We said the Mei and the Hanzo contesting for high ground, heavy sustain on the Hanzo in order for him to survive against the Mei, and
Big
the good
on
on the Reinhardt. The Bob is committed
on the side of the blue team.
They have to deal with this Bob though. It's a nano Bob, he's doing heavy damages, and that's gonna be hits.
That was very, very interesting turn of tides right there. That whole hook onto the Reinhardt, that was it for me. Surely that was going to be them attacking and taking this point here. But the red team on the defense do manage to clutch up, and they landed some very good ult usage in here, and they got some high burst damage, and they're still going to looking kind of okay, but the blue team now going to be with the ult advantage. They've got 5 ults in their arsenal right here, and the red team with a little bit less of a orthodox comp. They've got a Ryan and a Hammond working together, so we're going to see how Hammond's going to be pushing the snipers.
They're gonna look for that Orbs hook again, combination coming from the tanks. They do have an ult advantage, but it can be anyone's game at this point. And
oh, very interesting right there. Freezer boosting Reinhardt up, trying to get a shatter through, but Dream with reaction to block the shatter there. But a lot of kills coming in now from the blue team. This Bongo is landing some absolutely insane damage on the red team. They do not have enough sustain to withstand that fire right there, and now the blue team going to be finally making it through on this last fight here, and they are capping point 8.
They committed every ult they had, like a really huge commitment coming from the blue team. That's unfortunate that the strategy didn't work. It was pretty smart trying to pull off a big shatter with the Mei wall. It was surprising as well, but unfortunately it didn't connect. They were at all disadvantage though, so not too much to worry about. They still have a Bob, a Nano again. Let's see how it goes for this second point. It's gonna be pretty tough for the blue team to pull this off. Looking for some picks onto the snipers. Also already set up on the window and gets picked from long range by the Mei, which is pretty good. 5 against 5, they get the raise off the Hanzo though, so it's going to be pretty tough to hold this before Ash comes back. And they're coming to the whole hog.
They do recognize that they are at the 6v5 advantage. They are investing these ultimates here, but and they're going to be finding a lot of kills here. Qingju with the 2 picks right at the end there.
They still have
now
a Bob
the just
almost
going to be
contest.
testing. They do have a hand lock on touch on. Yes, they do. Even though Dream tried to stop it with the fortify, it was slightly too far back. And the Ash just wow, this Hanzo damage and the Zenyatta just combo together. They're just taking out these enemies as they're staggering onto the point here, 1v1. But the big pin from Lesreader, maybe they're going to be able to clutch this out now. They managed to find Dream. And yeah, wow, that was very close there, but some clutch play from the red team here, especially with that tank matchup right there. Really managed to stall that out.
And 97%, that was really close. They managed to pull this off because the Bob stalled off for like 3 seconds, and then the ball came with a Nano for like 5 seconds, and all that combined, they managed to get like 2 picks and yeah, 2 resets, and they're still holding it. They still have a chance.
Yeah, they could do this. Only 1 minute 45 seconds here to defend, so looking at, you know, this is doable. This is doable for the red team. They could win out the map right here.
Widow looking for some jump shots. The snipers damage boosted by the Mercy, and that's a huge pick onto the Reinhardt. The red team is gonna be on a shield. They're commenting the Mei ultimate onto the Hanzo, which should be picked. Rodog is frozen as well on the point, and Zenyatta drops down. That's a free kill, which should be win fight for the red team. That's gonna be a hard reset. They're trying to get the last people alive for that switch ult charge, which they might manage to get. The Widow is frozen. Now they managed to reset this, and it's gonna be a reset, hard reset for both. Yeah. We're back into the neutral.
Again, we've seen that even though Let's Reader falls very early in the fight from all the focus damage onto him, it doesn't matter. The red team they know the ultimates that they have in their arsenal, and they know how to respond effectively against the blue team strategies here.
The wall is going to be popped. The red team are really forced back. You can see that they are completely scared of this dual sniper setup. The bongo is put down again. And Shatter connecting two people.
But the trance in response from Chuckler.
Might be able to get a res on the Hanzo there. That's going to be really dangerous. And
big hotload combo onto Let's Reader again, and he does fall. Damage eventually coming to pay off, and they are not going to be able to touch. We're going into round 3 here on Volskaya.
This bongo really put some heavy pressure onto the red team. Like, they were completely forced off the point because of the walls, and the bongo just set it up. Like, they managed to break the main wall, the range shield. They destroyed everybody that was still inside. And
yeah. I gotta agree with you there. Both of the fights when they actually managed to cap the points was from the bongo usage. Nothing else managed to, you know, a few things got them a few ticks, got them very close to capping it, but the bongo right there, just that extra target focus is just going to be able to secure these captures here.
And the blue team is going to have only 1 minute to try and do as much as they can there. They're going to run for the dive with the Pharah Mercy eventually. We can see the Tracer, Pharah, and the Mercy picks there, so it's gonna be pretty tough to deal with if they stick on the Mei composition. The only one who can deal efficiently with Pharah right now is the Ashe, and on this map it's pretty hard to deal with the Pharah Mercy when you don't have a Mercy yourself and you're playing Ashe. So yeah, Tab really has to clutch this out if he wants to shut down this blue team.
Yeah, we're gonna see here Team Sync running their signature composition that we've seen here on Volskaya. There's Ryan Hammond, Mei, Ashe, and Aluso. They've been running this consistently, so the blue team, Team Frozen Melons here, are going to be able to sort of predict what the enemy are running, and yeah, they're going to be doing this dive comp here. They want to isolate the backline, get those squishes out, get it in and out very fast.
And some heavy spam already coming on up from the Pharah. 2 shots connecting from Tab. He's gonna need 3 to kill this Pharah, maybe 4 at long range, trying to look for those headshots, and the Tracer coming, flanking already, up down to 44 HP, almost dropped down, the nade is committed. They're trying to pull up some heavy pressure, taking space and committing from every direction, and it's a 1-for-1. They managed to get the Pharah, but she's red. That's gonna be very hard to keep defending it from the red team, with the Pharmacy putting some heavy pressure onto the sky there.
They're going to do it. Reinhardt falling very low. Already a lot of kills. However, a few picks in response from the red team. We've seen Dream play very slow, very passive here, just letting his DPS do the work. He's just pressuring the point, mitigating some of that damage. Jumping high in the air now, just to avoid this damage as he gets closer to his Primal Rage. But the Shadow comes through from Let's Reader as he receives a nano, and it's going to be wiping out the entire enemy blue team here. That was so favored for the blue team here, but the red team managing once again to clutch it up.
They managed to get 2 picks into a 6v4 situation with the Hammond into the backline working on this Ana, and I don't know who, but someone got a pick on the Pharah again, which was really bad from the blue team. At that point the Pharah just had to stay alive, and yeah, that's gonna be it. Now the blue team is working for the draw. They have 4 minutes to hold, which is a long time on Volskaya. If you just pick up like some heroes, Sombra, some Nanoblade, just heavy ultimate hero composition, you're nearly sure to win it on the offense.
Yeah, so a draw actually here makes Frozen Melons, the blue team, this is going to make them win the match, the entire series. But the win is going to take us onto map 5 for the red team from Team Sync here. So again, probably going to be seeing Team Sync's signature composition here. However, they've opted instead of for the Hammond onto the Zarya now. So they're going to be looking to work together with the front line, going to be storming through enemies. Oh, and they are now maybe going to be subbing in a Sombra. Possibly this could just be used to scout what the blue team are running here on the defense. And speaking of this defense team, they're running a Doomfist now. Going to be looking to get onto the back line and maybe get some picks early on, or just draw some attention, tank some damage.
Yeah, heavy disruptor that is Doomfist, especially against this composition that might be able to deal with it. Actually, like Sombra and Mei against the Doomfist, it's pretty strong. Okay, Sombra is scouting now. Let's see the information she gives, and let's see what they decide to pick for this attack. Alright, I think she's seen enough. She's back to Ashe. It's gonna be the same composition that went on the first offense, except this time they're not running double snipers, they're running a Doomfist and Ashe. So yeah, it can go both ways. They don't have those heavy ultimates like Sombra EMP or the Nanobite, but they still have a Mei ultimate, which is pretty good if you want to win only one fight. They're setting up on the Mega there.
Advancing onto the point here, just going to be stabilizing, going to be getting that shield back, getting some energy here for Joshua. They're going to be just farming up the damage. They want to break the enemy shield and be able to sustain on the point right underneath them, denying the snipers' sidelines as much as possible. However, the Doomfist comes in and he gets taken down by Tab. This could be it here. They're now just advancing onto the tank line. Orissa's going to be forced to use her Fortify. They're just making a load of space here. However, let's read his shield falling very low, and Dream manages to die. Now let's read focusing the Roadhog. Can he get his team support? No, he's going to be looking to pin away. He's falling very low. He's going to be trying to just sustain as long as possible here. They have a heavy advantage. He does not want to die right now.
And the red team managed to pull it off with the really important pick of the Doomfist on the beginning of the fight, and then they managed to pick the Orisa. And a bunker without Orisa actually doesn't look good at all, and yeah.
And that is it. Sync wins. This is going to take us onto map 5. It is all tied up 2-2 here. I think it's
yeah, it's
going
gonna
to play the game
for the last point, for the last map.
I see the play of the game here. Using the whole hog, going to be looking to get some environmental kills. Mei in the cryo, just breaking the shield down. Oh, and that is insane value from this play of the game here. That definitely deserves play of the game. He boops both enemy supports off the map.
Experience tranquility.
Audio medic. Oh, let's break it. Damn!
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Got you in my sights.
Audio medic. Oh, let's break it. Damn!
And welcome back everybody, we're back here for last map of the Frozen Melon vs Sync match. It's gonna be Control, probably a map we didn't play, probably Lijiang. So yeah, both team looking good. It's still anyone's game.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The reverse sweep could happen, as I was talking about. Frozen Melons with a 2-0 lead, but then Sync managed to turn it around. So we've seen some comp variations, been seeing quite a few comps here. It's been very interesting with the 2-2-2 log, what the teams have been opting to run for here. We've been seeing a bit of Reinhardt Hammond, a bit of Ashe Mei, some unorthodox stuff, which usually doesn't get some light shine on it. But we are unlocking the hidden potential here from these synergies, which we haven't been able to see before.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna see the top-down strategy again that Sync pulled into the Helios map. It might be interesting to see some other comps as well. I mean, we've seen almost every hero. I feel we've seen Doom, Ashe, Double Snipers, Mei, Pharah, Tracer, Genji. Like, yeah, really good to see 2-2-2 coming back with the 2 DPS enforcement. being yeah, able to show us some stuff we not used to see. I mean, when you watch Overwatch League a lot and you see goats all day every day, it's like a breath of.
I remember when we were on King Zero, we were just expecting go.
Audio medic. Oh, let's break it. Damn.
So here we are, Lijiang.
So control center, choke heavy map, Ana, Mei, all those heroes that make good value of chokes, Junkrats might be picked here. We'll see what they run. The blue team, again, they were playing pretty good dives. On the second point, Gardens, we might see a dive, Far Mercy again. But yeah, on this one, definitely favoring the choke composition, the choke control composition.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see if the red team are going to be running Freezer on the Mei again. This has so far been his signature hero in the games that I've seen so far. This is usually a very strong use in anywhere below Overwatch League, really. The reason in Overwatch League teams, but here in this tournament, probably going to get a lot of value from the Mei, especially on this map.
The obvious Mei pick here onto this map that's really comfortable for me. We're gonna have a Lucio onto the red team, which is usually some kind of advantage when you're running into a control point. They have a Far Mercy though. Far Mercy on this map, they have some onto the Reinhardt already launching and a huge pick on the Mercy. That's probably going to be first fight already. The Mercy is the real hero you don't want to lose on this first fight. And yeah, that's gonna be a pretty clean sweep. Right now.
Very good opening pick here from Tab onto the Mercy, just going to be absolutely denying sources that the Pharah expects to get. However, the blue team, even though they lost the fight, they did manage to get 2 kills onto Frida and
onto the Mei, and that's really important because they're not going to be able to defend that choke, that first shot, which is so hard to get through when you face a Mei. Playing this.
Isn't going to work against Tab. Hitscan skills, although the Wolf from Freeze are going to be splitting at the enemy team. Dream coming in very aggressive by himself, but he manages to land the flank shadow onto Dream. Both Reinhardt's traded. Going to be seeing a little bit of a deathmatch sort of situation here with no team leading anyone on their team. They're going to be falling. It's looking pretty even still. Who's going to be winning this? It looks like the red team. The blue team are just backing off. They want to stabilize, they want to reset.
Yeah, definitely both Rain gets picked, but one had to commit shatter and the other didn't, so pretty good advantage for the red team considering they didn't use any ult in this fight. They're gonna run out into next fight with an ult advantage. They're still not holding that spicy choke. Starting to get into the neutral here, looking for walls, looking for good boops eventually, looking for nades, and the shatter gets walled off. Macri on high ground with Dainun gets slapped. Nano it's committed, Bob is committed onto the fight. They used and right now it could still be anyone's fight. The Macri on high ground putting some heavy damage. The Bob just too strong, gets one pick. Both supports down now for the blue team. I don't think there's any way the blue team is going to be able to recontest this. It's only 15% left and their Mei is down. They're just trying to regroup right now. The red team are 6 and they are again on point.
This is a very tough situation for the blue team here. Just in case they win it, however, otherwise they have no chance of winning this round and falling to a disadvantage. Now both players are going to be using from either side here the wall as well in the exact same position and the grab as well. These ultimates have been very mirrored, but who is going to be lying out first? And that is a big shadow from Let's Reader. This is going to be the control center, 100-0. Very dominant play here from Sync onto this first map of Lijiang.
And this Rain is 1 HP, he can clutch it out!
And
oh
manages to find the 1-1. And manages to turn it around!
Oh my god, the Lucio has got some points! Holy shit! They were all 1 HP and Macri managed before he died from the dynamite, and they managed to recontest and recap the point. Oh my god, such play. That's really unfortunate for the red team. They were 1 inch off winning this series, this first point. They're going to go back into the neutral again, this time with a newt advantage onto the blue team. Macri is not set up on high ground though. The Bob is committed onto the board. Walled off, he cannot touch. They're gonna tempo a little bit. Watch out for this Bob. Hainu is committed. A huge headshot from Ash.
Just off-hanging here on the high stairs. May's going to be trying to contest him. He's going to be revenging his friend, but the red team investing their nano. They're going to be going very aggressive here. Wall is used. They're going to be splitting the enemies in half here, and the red team is just absolutely shredding everyone. Only the sports left. It's just a matter of time here before the red team take out what is rightfully theirs. They had a very dominant performance here. Some very interesting play with the May wall blocking the shadows, and the McCree with the 3k before he got burned out, with the Lucio just getting back in time. But Dream with the flank shadow. However, it does not matter. Wiseman with the Lucio, the shadow's going to be just flying out, trying to get anyone who's just scuttling away here onto the point. However, Pingju, he does manage to get the 4 seconds of stall here. Tingle Tangle with a self-personal bubble used, but they're going to be focusing him down. They're going to be punishing him for that cooldown usage.
Yeah, definitely making better value of the May. Freeze are really popping up. They are blocking shadows, getting good ultimates, good value of the freeze, playing a little bit more aggressive, I feel like. And yeah, just cleaner plays overall. Managed to take this first point, which puts the blue team into a do or die situation. It's their last map. It might be their last map.
This is here. This is the series. This could be the final map of the entire series here. If the red team do win, the blue team going to have to be trying to pull out some sort of different comms, maybe some different strategies. Maybe they've planned for this pre-game. We're going to really have to see the tides turn here. Looks like the red team very dominant in this reverse. And this could be a finally here.
And they're keeping the May in this map where the ceiling is actually pretty high. Farah could be an interesting option, but they aren't. So let's see how it goes. They have
Diva.
Yeah, Winsome Diva with Sackfist. Pretty strange composition, but you know, with the dive, I don't know. Might
Maybe they feel that they can zone out the backline or any of the enemy DPS. Probably not the May though. The May's probably not going to be the optimal target, as she does have that cryo block and just freezing enemies. Now the blue team going to be taking a dive into here. The Winston Diva and Doomis do go in, however the Diva is demeched. Winston trying to save his teammate there, but it does not matter. Kunju with the kill onto Zarya though. This is looking like it could go either way right here. And we see
a pick on now. The red team is done the main support right now.
And the blue team do manage to win this first fight here. This could be it. They could win this round. It's looking good. First cap is very important.
That's the kind of problem you face when you're playing Reyna Zarya. Like with this kind of dive hack fist, you have no targets, basically no targets. They don't make much value of their bubbles, they don't make much value of their hammer strings. Ren is only 60% ultimate right now, and Zarya 40%, considering the fight lasted for like 1 minute. It's pretty, yeah, not much value being made there. On the opposite side, the blue team already has almost all their ults except the Diva Bomb. Not being committed on the point right now. Primal is committed as well. Trance, just to make sure we survive that initial burst damage. The Nano onto the Zarya, going to form that Quick Grab, and the big shot are committing on both tanks. Bid is being committed as well, looking really good for the blue team right now. And the EMP just to finish it off.
That's a 3-minute EMP onto the red team. However, the blue team did use a lot of their ultimates there. They used their Doomfist ult, their Summer ult,
cryo. It's just going to commit the cryo.
Right there. And they still might even lose this fight. That's incredible. The blue team
managed to turn this around.
5 of their ults there. I thought it was 6 because the Diva was demached, but all 5 of those ults right there, all they've got to work with now is the Diva Bomb, and they didn't even win that fight. They lost that fight right there. It's going to be a strong ult advantage here, and it's going to be hard to dive onto the point now. Now this Reinhardt is going to be just an immovable object on the point.
And that's the problem when you face a Mei. Whenever you just ignore a little bit the Mei, she managed to get big freeze and big kills onto people you're not expecting to lose at some critical moments of fights. So yeah, definitely something to rework on here. And good pick on the Zarya to initiate this first fight. This fight, it's going to be pretty tough to deal with now. The Farm Mercy is completely uncontested in here. Diva Bomb is being committed.
Doesn't manage to find anything.
And the slip onto the Pharah, oh my god, that's how you contest the Pharah, you just slip up mid-hair. Wow. But the blue team is going to pull this second fight.
finds 3. That was some really impressive play here, some adaptability during it. They realized that the Doomfist wasn't working anymore, even though they invested all of their ults, and the way to retake that was to, let's switch up the comp, let's try to counter the Reinhardt Zarya. They're not going to be able to reach the Pharah. It's going to be very oppressive. They're going to be getting a lot of spam damage into the point, and they do manage to take it. It's going to be looking into maybe the final fight here, possibly maybe 1.5 to 2 fights. Big boop down onto the Reinhardt though.
And this commitment onto the high ground, onto this little choke, really tough. Look at the HP, they're just getting destroyed. They completely went against the spam and got completely destroyed off this high ground. Before they even touched the ground, they were all low, and they just have to finish it. Like, it was really easy fight for the blue team once they managed to get those initial burst damage. The red team didn't have any ultimate to contest this. Now they switched to the Tracer to touch. I don't know if it's going to be fast enough. The Ren is committing onto the point, and he's managed to touch. The EMP goes down, goes in, and already 3 kills for the blue team. I think it's gonna be it for the second map. The bit is cancelled.
Win here. This should be it. Yeah, that's it. That was really impressive. They got a team kill. However, some pretty good identification of stall there from Tab. He sends his Bob onto the point, manages to cap them, even though he knows that his team is all going to be falling. So that was very vital. I feel like if he didn't do that, that could have been it right there, and they may have just lost it instantly. They maybe not have touched the point again with the Tracer. So that was very interesting play right in the end there. So now we're going to be tied up here. It's 2-2 in the maps, 1-1 on here on Lijiang. This is it. This is the final round for the entire series.
Yeah, and we might see again this pharmacy composition really strong onto this garden map with the boop availability, the fact that you can boop people off the bridge and into the pits. We're gonna see a double hit scan. They really pissed about this Pharah. They really want to shut her down. Macri and Soldier being committed, they are from the red team. They're gonna go onto the right side, try to get under a safe roof into the point, and then try to. Already this Pharah Mercy making value. First pick. It's gonna be really tough to deal with it now.
The hit scans don't matter. Quinju managing to find the 3k on the Pharah here, just landing that heavy burst damage and that spam damage with these large projectiles onto the tanks here. It's just going to be zoning them out in these tight chokes, which they even wanted to hold, but it looks like they're not going to be able to do that. The hit scan's just not good enough. It's just not contesting the Pharah enough, and it seems like the Pharah is going to keep on spamming it here. He's very close to his ultimate. I'm going to be looking to use this early next fight. Maybe the red team haven't identified that yet. Maybe he's going to look for an early pick or at least a trade.
And that's what you want when you play double hit scan, is like having 2 lines, 2 separate zones that you can control in order to deny the Pharah. But how do you play that when your tanks are Rain Zarya and you're playing against dive? If you end up running alone a little bit too much, you might get dived instant. So both of those hit scans not really able to contest this Pharah, which is going to make a huge barrage, demaking the Diva.
Huge barrage, managing to find 2, that is good enough against this comp here. As long as he dies and he finds 2 picks, that is good enough. His team is in a huge advantage here. And Dream manages to find Let's Smear. Let's Reader with his Primal Rage is going to be cleaning up the Ana now, and this is going to be a strong win for the blue team here. It's going to be looking to be getting into 50, 60, 70%. The red team losing all of their hope. I really don't think that they've got the right comp for this. They're really demonstrating a lack of knowledge on how to counter swap here, and they're just trying to go with these hit scans, and it's just still not working against the Pharah. They need to change something up very quickly. Maybe the tank line.
They have the DPS ultimate for next fight, which might actually give them the opportunity to get them the point, but the EMP might be coming in. They're connecting the beat right here, getting the first pick onto this Mercy. Very important pick there. The chance is being committed. Everybody's going back on the punch, regrouping, trying to survive this initial burst. Sombra still has this EMP. And 3 picks from the blue team, it's actually doable. They managed to demake the Diva as well, trying to find this mini Diva kill. That's it. Win some drops, but unfortunately that's not enough. They still have that TMP, they still have a bomb, and they have a barrage, and I think it's going to be game.
Could this be it? Can they touch? Will the red team be able to touch here? Or is this going to be the win for the blue team? No, they do manage to touch, and a shadow onto Shurker. Quinju with the double kill with the Pharah. With his ultimate right there, it's going to be extremely difficult for the red team to be pushing on only 3 of their members alive. And this surely has to be it for the blue team here. They are doing this for the win. This Pharah from Quinju absolutely been popping off this entire game right here. The Primal Rage coming out from Dream. Sombra uncloaked. Dream finding 2 with this Primal Rage. Absolutely huge display of his mechanical skill right there with this Primal Rage, and manages to clean up the ball. EMP coming through, just going to be securing these final little kills here. Anyone staggering on, and that is it.
Yeah,
Team
they
Frozen
managed to
Melons
take it.
wins the entire series. They managed to take the map. They managed to pop off right when it mattered the most. This is a reverse sweep right here. No, it's not. It's the opposite of reverse sweep. Sync, they wanted to reverse sweep,
They
but then
didn't
Frozen
block,
Melon,
they held
they
it
did it
at
the
the
other way
very
around.
end.
They waited them. They let them win those two, and that
It was
was it.
such a convincing win until this last point. They managed to win without using a single EMP. They used the EMP at the very last moment, just on the Macri and the Ana. I think like they really make good value of that pharmacy and managed to take the series. Well deserved and well played.
Yeah, sorry about that mess up there, though. It was just so convincing the other time when they were reverse sweeping, and then Frozen Melons managed to clutch it out when it actually mattered the most. Very good series. This was very interesting. Saw lots of different comps used, lots of different strategies, some interesting plays with the ultimates there. And yeah, that was an excellent series.